Good morning and welcome to the Closers Cafe on a Monday morning, September 22nd, I think. Man, I have a jam packed schedule or plan for the day that I am excited to share with you to kick off the week. We will hopefully be having a special guest join us as well. And we're going to dig into strategies for building out landing pages and generating leads organically or AKA for free on social media. I'm going to dig into and get you caught up on what has happened the last few weeks. Or sorry about that. I'm not the last few weeks. Over the weekend, what has happened over the weekend, because lots of good stuff happened from my live session on Friday until now. Friday was short and sweet. I even started a little bit early because I was heading out on appointments all morning. And part of my plan for today is I need to follow up with those folks. One is not pretty much. One I will be listing. It's just a matter of when we'll be listing it. Another one, maybe. It's a definite maybe. And the last one, I'm going to make them a proposal as well. But it was great to get out and check those out. I see that our special guest is already here. My man, Hank. Oh, pure boy. Good morning. Sorry, didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I saw you in there and I figured no time like the present. And if you're good to go, I figured we'll kick off the morning with the question you had asked me, and then creating a plan and strategy around that. So Hank is part of my EXP organization. He's in the metro Atlanta area. Hank, refresh my memory. And for everyone out there, what part of Atlanta? Because I know that's a big metro area.
Right. I'm in the Northeast, near DeKalb County, Gwinnett County, Henry County, that area.
Beautiful. Okay. And Hank had reached out to me at some point last week, asking for some help and direction on creating landing pages and or squeeze pages to utilize with, I think you had mentioned, like on Facebook and Facebook groups, things of that nature. Is that the gist of it?
Yeah, just something else another tool to try to get some leads. Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. And I had shared just, I don't know, some brief thoughts or ideas. And Hank actually put together some landing page ideas that I'll share on the screen here in a minute. That was a good starting point or jumping off point. And Hank, did you use AI for this stuff, or did you come up with this yourself? Or
Okay, it was a
okay, yeah. Listen, I'm using it more and more every single day. In fact, this morning I used it. I had two listings that I entered into the MLS this weekend. They're both coming soon. One goes live tomorrow. One goes live Thursday. And this morning I went and copied the reverse prospecting list. So the list of agents for each of the properties, the list of agents that have clients that fit that criteria. And then I used AI to take that and put it into a nice organized spreadsheet that I could then import into my cold outreach engine so that I can text and email all of those agents to let them know about this listing that fits a client criteria. And that's a really simple, like rudimentary use of AI, but more and more. So there's nothing wrong with that. And I think especially in part of what Hank had shared with me is that, hey, I'm not really all that creative. So I need some help with ideas here. That's a wonderful use of AI, is let AI be creative and come up with some ideas for you. So we have a couple of different ideas here. We have a first-time home buyer resource, a new construction homes page, home value seller guide page, neighborhood and lifestyle guide page. So I'm going to take a few steps back here, first and foremost, and I want to spend time on identifying, being smarter about this work versus just shooting all over the place. Let's get laser targeted on who you want to connect with, what type of potential clients you want to put into your CRM, right? To grow your pipeline around. And then let's go and figure out, what do we offer them to do that? So in a perfect world, what would be the type of clientele you're looking to connect with and service?
Oh, the move up buyer, I guess new
Okay.
construction to buy and sell, hopefully.
And and I already know the answer, but I'm doing this for the benefit of everyone else as well. There's new construction inventory available in your
Definitely.
area?
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. Okay. I already knew both of those answers, but I wanted to pull it out of you. So I think 100% we focus top of funnel or top of pipeline or entry point into the pipeline, or whatever phrasing you want to use or analogy you want to use. We should absolutely focus on the new construction inventory and if there are incentives available and even potentially special financing programs available for new construction. Okay. So I think we absolutely focus there. And then you can utilize home value or cash offer or unique selling options for the people or with the people that have a home they are either trading up from, or in some cases, you're going to, you will also get people that are trading down that they're looking to right size and they want new construction, but they want a new construction with a master on the main, or they just want a 1 story. And I would assume that you wouldn't be opposed to that clientele if that came through by accident. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. And so that's our like client avatar. Now, what, because you mentioned a couple of different counties and so forth. Ideally, where do you like, and we could get, and maybe we should do this. We can get, what's the word, more analytical about this. Like we can find what the data tells us on this, but just out of curiosity, of those areas that you mentioned, is there a particular county or area within that county that you would prefer, or that you already know there's more inventory and activity around, or maybe is the most desirable, where people are trying to trade into because of the school district or something, about that? Do you have a sense for that?
That's definitely Gwinnett County.
Okay. Gwinnett County. Okay. And I'm just making notes here so I don't forget. So Gwinnett County is going to be our target area. And I'm going to recommend that our top of funnel or top of pipeline is going to be offering the inventory available. It's simple and it's not all that sexy, but it works. People want to see properties. Now, how we can make it more interesting or how we can differentiate versus what someone may go elsewhere to find, or that, so it doesn't seem commoditized, there are several different things we can do to differentiate. So knowing that Gwinnett County is our target area and new construction is the niche that we're going after. Now I want to get into some of the strategy parts of this. So I'm going to share my screen here. I'm going to try to. Anyway, here we go. Here we go. So for new construction, there is a great free resource that anyone licensed can sign up for. It is 100% free. And they have some courses or training that you can pay for if you want. I've never gone through those. I've had some folks that have and spoke somewhat highly of it, but you don't need to do that. It's called newhomesourceprofessional.com. It is a mouthful. Newhomesourceprofessional.com. And if you've never signed up before, you can click the sign up today button. But I could go ahead and sign in. And the reason I'm starting here, there's a couple of reasons. I want to, I can search new construction inventory anywhere. Whereas if I go to my MLS, I can't pull up Gwinnett County new construction with Hank here. And I just want to have a sense for that. But I can also find inventory that is listed in here that might not be in the MLS. And we can play that up as part of our daily posting strategies. So I'm going to type in Gwinnett County, Georgia here, and we're going to hit search. And where's the count here? Maybe it's down here. Holy smokes. Actually, it's not quite. I thought it was a lot. 319 new construction homes. Now, this is all types of properties. This first one here is a single family. This looks like a townhouse or maybe a condo of some kind. So it's not limited to a particular type of home. Here's one that could be perfect for a potential downsizer. Look at this. It has had a massive price reduction, a $30,000 price reduction, and it's single story, 4-bed, 2-bath. That could make a wonderful property for someone looking to downsize or quote unquote right size. And I'll point out a couple of other reasons why I like this site and where you can put together content that you can use as part of what we're talking about here. Okay. So, number one, there's a couple of different things that I mentioned that we can use to hook the people in. Number one is the inventory. Number two is incentives, special financing, etc. Number three is like a guide or a resource to the neighborhoods or the communities, etc. Okay. So, number one, inventory, piece of cake. You could use New Home Source Professional to deliver those results, and I'll show what that looks like. You could make a landing page in KV Core or whatever you're using for your website. And then you could just send people to that on when they submit their information. The other way you can offer that inventory is through an IDX squeeze page with KV Core. So you can create a page that teases all of the available inventory. And for people to see or keep searching, they have to log in. Minimally effective, but it can work. Okay. And then we could create a landing page for the builder incentives and so forth. So I'm going to go back over to New Home Source Professional and let's see here. So this is all of the listings. Okay. 319 listings. And that's under the homes tab. And so I'm jumping around here. I get excited about this. You could use the filtering to curate a specific list. So one of the most simple and effective strategies that I've used when offering a list of new construction homes, for example, is offering see all available new construction homes in Gwinnett County under 500K, under 450,000, under 575,000. The number doesn't matter as much as it's demonstrating that you curated a list, that you did some of the work so the people looking don't have to. And looking at some of these prices, I may go under 450 because that may generate or catch more of the attention or the eyeballs for folks. So you can play with this, and that's just one simple way that you can convenient or curate information to use as part of your hook. So there are 120 new construction homes in Gwinnett County under 450,000, according to New Home Source Professional. And this data may not perfectly match up with the MLS data because some of the inventory in here won't be in the MLS, and there will be MLS inventory that won't be here. Okay. So just whatever. And honestly, it doesn't matter. Okay. This is just a way to get someone to raise their hand and end up as someone that you can have a conversation with to learn more about what they're looking for. Because ultimately, with this strategy that I'm describing right now, you want to use this to get them into your world. And then you want to use the types of texts and emails that I've been sharing like all of last week. Most mornings, I start by sharing the emails and texts that I'm using to create more conversations. You use those strategies to identify who is most ready, willing, and able to have a conversation right there, or right now. And then from that conversation, I always, once I have a better idea what they're looking for, that's when I move them into the MLS. Set up a custom search for them, exactly what they're looking for. Because they may have raised their hand because they wanted to check out all of the new construction homes in Gwinnett County, but they really wanted to be in Dacula. That's funny. It's Dacula. I don't know. Or they might want to be in Lawrenceville, or they might want to be in Snellville. Snellville, I think, is one of the towns that you had mentioned to me that you were wanting to focus on, right? So you find more about what they're looking to do, and then you can set up a more customized long-term plan to deliver what they're looking for and ultimately get them out looking at homes and hopefully selling their existing home as well if they have one. Okay. So that's one way you can play with the curation in here. Another thing I like to do is home status. Okay. I like to go to home status and I like to deselect plan and sometimes even model home. You just have to play with the filtering a little bit, but I want to see what are the quick move options. So according to this, there are 82 potential quick move, or I could even just go, I only want the completed homes, meaning these are homes that if they work for my client, we could write an offer and settle as soon as possible. There are 40 of those. Okay. Now, why is that valuable? I more use that as a conversion piece than a top of funnel piece. Meaning, I will once a month say, right now, there are 40 new quick move, quote unquote, quick move new construction homes available in Gwinnett County. Would you like me to send you the entire list? And I can send that as a text message. I can send that as an email. Okay. The other thing I can do, and I'm a little bit all over the place here because I'm just brainstorming with Hank. And what I plan to do, whether it's live here or after the fact, is create more of a crystallized plan. Do this, then this, then this. But I'm just brainstorming and just freelancing here right now. But the other thing that this focus allows you to do, and this is definitely going to be part of my recommended weekly plan for you, Hank, is every Wednesday or Thursday, could even be Tuesday, whatever works for you, is you're going to pick a new construction home and you're going to feature it as your deal of the week. And it might be your deal of the week because the construction was just completed. It might be the deal of the week because they've just had a big price drop. It might be a deal of the week because the builder just added some crazy incentive. It might be the deal of the week because it's the cheapest 4-bedroom new construction home available right now in Gwinnett County. There's any number of reasons why you can make it the deal of the week. It could be the cheapest single-story new construction home available right now in Gwinnett County. It doesn't really matter. Like you can create the story as to why it's your featured deal of the week, regardless of why. Okay. That's how you can curate the actual listings and use the inventory to A, generate more leads, and B, get into more conversations with those leads. Okay. Now, number 2, if you click on the communities tab right here, you can pull up all of the communities in Gwinnett County where there are new construction homes, at least those builders that have their new construction inventory on New Home Source Professional. I'm not saying that this is an exhaustive list, but you can find most. Now, this is a wonderful example of AI, and this is something I would recommend that you do, Hank, is you can use some of the deeper research models on Chat or Grok or Manus or Gemini, it doesn't really matter, and tell the AI, I want you to do deep research and I want you to put together for me a guide for potentially moving up or trading up buyers of all the new home communities right now in Gwinnett County. And I need to work on that prompting, but that's something where you plug it in and you let the thing go to work. That's not something that's going to give you the output in a matter of seconds or minutes. You need to let that thing go to work and it will pop out that guide for you. And here's another great way to use AI. Go to Chat and tell Chat, I need help writing a prompt. Here's what I'm trying to do. I want to put together a guide for growing families who are looking to buy a new construction home in Gwinnett County. Specifically, I want the guide to detail all of the new home communities or new construction home communities, whatever, in Gwinnett County. And it'll then give you a prompt that you can use either with Chat or Gemini or one of the other ones. That's a strategy that I use a lot. There's also a free prompt tool called Prompt Cowboy. It's 100% free. You have to create an account, right? You just create an account with your Gmail. But Prompt Cowboy is another place that you can go that you can pop something like that in there and you'll get that output. Now, I wouldn't just take that and use that per se. You want to brand it to you a little bit, but at least you can get the information very quickly. And then the last one, and you could use AI to do this as well, a similar prompt, but you ask it to find all of the new construction home builder incentives available in Gwinnett County. Okay. So those are like the 3 ways you can capture more leads. And by far, the one that works the best for sure is the actual inventory. The second 2 that I mentioned are better as like further down the pipeline. They're better as part of your follow-up communications. They're better ways to create more conversations. So for example, you use AI to create this new home community. You go to your existing database and say, hey, I just put together a guide detailing all of the information about new home communities in Gwinnett County. Would you like me to send you a copy of the PDF? So you use it as a way to get even more hand raisers. And why is that relevant? Number one, you create more conversations, and the Closers Cafe is about conversations, contracts, and closing. So we need to have more conversations. Number two is you're using it as a conversation piece. Number two, it's not just identifying the conversations, but if someone raises their hand for that, they're probably farther along or further along in the process. They're closer to buying a home than someone that doesn't respond. So then not only am I going to deliver that thing, but I might also follow up with them the next day or the next week to see if they had any questions about the guide, or are there any communities in particular that you would like even more info about, or that maybe we should go take a tour of sometime. So like using that to making offers like that to identify who is further along in the process. Okay. Okay. So now, how are we here's the plan, in my opinion, to actually capture these opportunities. Number one, the curated list. Okay. The curated list. I'm going to share my screen here. I'm going to do this in my bold trail, but we're going to pretend I'm doing it for Gwinnett County. Okay. So we'll just have to play along, and then I'm going to turn this into, I'm going to take this portion of this morning's live stream and we'll cut it out, and we'll use AI to put it into an executive summary and sort of do this. So in Bold Trail, if we go to lead engine, we could do two different types of pages to capture leads. There's what they call a landing page, which is like the typical, what's funny is, in my opinion, they have the language reversed. I think of, or have always referred to, what they call a landing page, a squeeze page, but they call it a landing page. And then what they call IDX squeeze page, I've always thought of that as a landing page. Doesn't matter. Tomato, tomato, potato. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to do both of these. I'll demonstrate both of these here and how I would use these. I'm going to start with the IDX squeeze page. So I have multiple URLs here. You will probably just have one. You may not even have, you may just have like it might be Hank Purefoy at .exprealty.com. It's totally fine for this. It's not a big deal. So I'm going to choose, for the search criteria, I'm going to choose Cumberland County. I'll make sure I've got the right here. Okay. Nope. I don't want neighborhood. I want the county. This is weird, and it might be just the way my MLS is set up. You want to make sure that when I didn't spell it right. Cumberland. You want to make sure it's saying county, colon, and then the county, colon, and then the county. You don't want the neighborhood. I don't even know what that means exactly. I don't know why it's broken out like that. Listing type. Okay. Listing type. I want single family. I want townhouse, and I want condo. Now, maybe you just want single family. Like that's just what I'm choosing here. And I'm not saying you, Hank, I'm just saying in general. And then I'm going to choose up to 450,000. I could choose 500. I could choose 600. I could choose 5.25. It's whatever. There's no right or wrong answer here. And then under options, I'm going to choose newly built. And I'm going to say, for source, I could say FB, I could say organic. This is just for your own tracking so that you could go and find, okay, from these activities that I'm going to do, which I'm going to outline what those activities are. I'm going to give you like a plan for that, just a way for you to internally track that in Bold Trail. So I can go, okay, this is the source of that. Now, hashtags is different. Hashtags is an even further way to sort, and it's a little bit easier to pop in hashtags. So for this, I'm going to say Cumberland Co. new homes under 450K. So I'm just making a new hashtag for that. The Facebook cover photo, use recent listings. I'm not even going to select anything. I'll just leave it at the default. And then I'm going to leave this at the default also, which means someone that goes to this squeeze page can look at two listings before it prompts them to log in. Okay. So I'm going to go and generate the link. I'm going to copy this link and pop it over here. And I have 73 results. I can filter these by days on market. I can filter them by price. I could filter them by the ones that have had price reductions, which is, by the way, I totally forgot about this. That's another way that you can curate the list. check out all recently price reduced new construction homes in Gwinnett County. Okay. That's another way you could curate the list to deliver value and save people time, right? You're doing some work for them. Okay. So this is what the results page looked like for the IDX squeeze page. And then I could take that. Okay. I could take that. And here's what I could do. This is one strategy that I use when promoting organically is I don't really know what's showing up here. So I'm going to choose high priced to low priced. Okay, now I've got a little bit more variety of homes here. I was trying to get the grid to show a little bit more variety. I'm going to take a screenshot. Okay. Whoops. Yeah, I'm going to take a screenshot of this here. I'm going to get this where it's pretty good here. I'm going to take a screenshot and then I'm going to actually show here. So I'm going to start with next door and I'm going to say, looking for a new construction home in Cumberland County. Check out all available brand new homes right now. I'm going to get this link here, paste that. There are actually check out all available brand new homes for under 450K right now, right here. Okay. And there are, how many are there? 73 available as of this morning. Okay. And then I always, when I post something in here like this, I always put my signature information. So if it doesn't happen a lot, but if someone wanted to directly reach out, then I add a location. So I'm going to add, this is for all of Cumberland County. So I'm going to say Cumberland County. We're going to use that location. And then that little screenshot image that I took, I'm going to grab that. Where is it? There it is. And I'm going to drop that. Okay. Now, before I actually post this, I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to post it. And now I'm going to go to my Facebook business page. I got to find my page here. And I'm going to literally do the exact same thing. So I'm going to paste in this criteria. I'm going to delete this preview because I'm going to put the image right here. And I'm going to check in. I'm just going to check. I don't know that this isn't necessary, but I'm going to choose Cumberland County. I'm just going to have, because then it says Josh Shanley is in Cumberland County, Pennsylvania. I don't think you need to do this with every post per se. This looks good, easy peasy. And now I'm going to post that. Now, the next piece of this to get a lot of traction for free is I'm going to go to my Facebook app on my phone. Okay. I'm going to go to the Facebook app on my phone. Okay. Make this real big here. I'm going to go to the Facebook app on my phone and I'm going to do from my personal profile. Okay. This is my personal profile. I'm going to go and find the post on my business page. Okay. So I bring up my business page, Josh Shanley, eXp Realty, and I need to bring up the page and then I need to find, this is the post I just made. This is the post I just made. I'm going to hit share. I'm going to hit share. And then I'm going to hit in this down in the middle here. Whoops. I hit link copied. I'm going to hit group. There's a group in the middle here. I'm going to tap that. And now I'm going to choose the groups that are relevant to this post. So I'm going to start typing in Cumberland County and I've got yard sale groups and so forth in Cumberland County. So I'm going to select, I don't know, 5 of them. And then there's also cities that I'm a part of that are part of Cumberland County that are also relevant. So I'm just going to choose a few of those as well. And I'm going to hit done. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 7 groups that I'm sharing to. So I'm going to hit next. And now I can put something above the post. So I'm going to put eyeballs. I'm just going to do 3 emojis. I'm going to put eyeballs. Okay. Look at this. I'm going to put home and I'm going to do an arrow down and I'll show this in a minute here. There we go. So I got eyeballs, a home and an arrow down, and then I'm going to click share now. And that is shared. Now, doing that any one time is not going to get you a ton of leads, but that strategy you can do every single week. So I'm bouncing around a little bit, but now I want to crystallize this for you into a plan for you. I'm going to recommend that and there's no right or wrong answer here. It's whatever makes sense for you. but I'm going to suggest that you start posting at least 5 days per week, at least 5 days per week. Okay. Maybe 6, maybe even 7. If I don't know. There's nothing wrong with posting 7. I don't like prescribing people work 7 days a week if they're not into that. I've been working 7 days a week myself, my Sunday mornings. I try to knock out some work Sunday mornings, and then I do my best to at least do a little bit of Sabbath for the rest of the Sunday until I wake up early Monday morning, but whatever. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. And here's what I'm going to recommend. At least one post like that one every week where you're sharing, this is the updated list of these properties. And it doesn't have to be the same every time, meaning it could be under 500. It could be just all of the single family new construction homes. It could be all of the single story new construction homes, just at least one like that. And then the other posts, a variety of different things. So number one, it could be your new construction community guide, your Gwinnett County new construction community guide. And you could literally share that once a week, right? With a different image or different verbiage. And if you're not sure like how to mix it up, go to ChatGPT, put in the verbiage and say, can you create 5 different variations of this language? In fact, let's do that. I'm going to do that right now for what my post copy was in this one. Okay, so ChatGPT. So I'm going to go to ChatGPT. Can you help me create 5 different variations of this text for a Facebook? And I pop it in here, and here. Did you know there are, like, I wouldn't have thought of these two. New homes, new beginnings. Like, Gwinnett County buyers, don't miss this. These are great variations, right? So
Right.
like you don't have to come up with the ways to mix it up. Okay. So that's number one. So number one is once a week, at a minimum, once a week, you're posting an updated curated list. And honestly, you could probably do it twice a week. You could do it Monday and Thursday, and they could be different, right? So on Monday, it's the price reduced new construction homes. And on Thursday, it's the whatever, the homes under X amount. It could be luxury, meaning here are all the single family new construction homes available right now at 500,000 and up. Okay. So the more you do this, the more ideas, creative ways to spin it you'll get. So that's number one. Number two is the new home community guides. And you could do guides, or you could even do, like, you could feature one in particular. So you realize that a lot of people are asking about this particular new home community. Then all you have to do, grab the guide. Let's say you have a lot of people, Alcovy Meadows, and a lot of people are like really interested in this guide. So if I click on the community, and where is it here? They will spit out for you. Where is it? What is it? The report? No, son of a gun. I haven't found it here in a while. I haven't looked for this in a while. Request to register. Oh, report. It's right there. It was right in front of me. So I want to hit the report button. Okay. It was right here. Report. And I want the client version of the report. And now I've got this guide that I can share out. What was this? Alcovy Meadows New Home Community Guide. Okay. Now, how do I do this in such a way that I can actually capture leads? Okay. Now I'm going to go over here, and instead of IDX squeeze page, I'm going to choose landing page. Okay. I'm going to select the domain. I'm going to start building. And I want lead generation selected and the hashtag, maybe. So this is the Alcovy Meadows guide. Okay. And the select button, or see the guide now. The URL after login. Now, you want to make sure that people get the thing they're requesting. So here's the simplest, easiest way to give someone on the thank you page a PDF. Go to Google Drive. Okay. Go to Google Drive. It's free. You should all have a Google Drive account. Choose file upload. Here's the community PDF. So I upload it. I click on it. I make sure this is critically important. I hit share, and I want to change the general access from restricted to anyone with the link. And then I'm going to copy the link. And now I'm going to set that as the after URL, which means when someone opts in, when they put their email and optionally their phone in here and they hit see the guide now, I go and they automatically are redirected to that resource. Okay. And for this, so I could use ChatGPT for this. I could say, hey, I need a headline and bullet points. I don't think you need bullet points. So bullet points, I just click, if you double click on them, it just removes them. And I'm going to say Alcovy Meadows new home construction community guide. Enter your email below for instant access. Okay. Now I could get a little bit more creative on the copy here, but I'm trying to just go through the nuts and now. If you enter your cell phone number, we promise to send only interesting, relevant stuff. You can hit reply at any time. Here's what I'm going to change this to. Oh, shoot. I deleted it. You got to be careful when building this thing because if you do stuff like that, it disappears and then you have to start over. So what I was going to put is this. When you enter your cell phone or by entering your or let me think here of the language. Enter your cell phone so I can send you my new construction deal of the week in Gwinnett County each and every week. That language is terrible, but the idea is if they put in their cell phone, you're going to share the deal of the week by text each and every week with them. Okay. And I would leave it optional because if you require it, you get a lot of fake emails. And I would rather have people choosing to put a real email because they actually want the thing versus them putting a fake email because it says, a fake phone number because it says phone number required. It also means to me, that's a signal that they're more serious and probably closer to actually making a purchase. Okay. All right. So
Quick question.
once or twice. Yep. Go ahead.
What did you do to make sure that they get after the thank you page, they get the guide? I missed that part.
Yeah. So the thank you page, go ahead. So the thank you page right here is where you put what the thank you page will be.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So that's the URL they see after they enter their information.
Okay.
But we don't want to stop there though. We don't want to stop there. So if we're building that, we also want to make sure that we set up a smart campaign so that when someone gets that tag, you send them an email with the guide. And if they've entered their cell phone, that you send them a text that says, I emailed you the community guide for Alcovy Meadows. Did you get it? Or something like that. You're trying to get them because let's face it, that email is going to land in junk or spam sometimes. And so what I would do anytime on something like that is I would set up a smart campaign that immediately delivers the email with the guide. Okay. Number one. Number two, if they entered their cell phone, I would send them a text message like 2 minutes later. So delayed 2 minutes. And number three, I would send an email 3 hours later. That's all text and just says, did you get it? And it says, a couple of hours ago, you requested the community guide for Alcovy Meadows. I did email that to you. I just wanted to make sure you got it. And then you could put even in parentheses, sometimes it lands in your spam or junk folder, something along those lines. Okay. So we've got once or twice a week curated list. Once or twice a week, either your community guide for all the communities or just feature a community. Literally, there was, I don't know how many different communities, but if you just did one a week, every 12, 13 weeks, you just end up back in first one again. It just creates and then whatever other days you have open, I would just feature specific properties. I would just pick a property. And this is not legal advice. Okay. And again, I'm speaking to everyone, not just you, Hank, but home builders, as I understand it, builders that have their inventory on New Home Source Professional are providing express consent for us as the buyer's agent to promote their listings. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because even though technically, and I don't know, in Central PA, agents get all hot and bothered when you promote their listings without their permission, but their listings are already promoted on Zillow and on my IDX website. So I don't know why they get hot and bothered, but whatever. Now, if they're not in New Home Source Professional, there's a builder that you really like to work with and they're not in there, I would just get permission. And I have an email script that you can use with that. It's just basically, hey, would it be okay if we promote your inventory on our social channels with proper attribution, of course, meaning like that we acknowledge the fact that whoever the listing broker is or whatever, And most of the time you get permission and then you can use that inventory as well. Okay. So the promotional schedule at 5, 6, 7 days a week, I think you should vary the times that you promote as well. Okay. You don't want to always be doing it at 8 a.m. in the morning, because you may only catch the people whose habit is to look on those platforms at that time. So you want to mix it up. Sometimes in the morning, sometimes around lunchtime, sometimes around dinner time. And you can schedule posts and so forth. There's things you can do so that it's not you manually doing it each and every time. And all of that is designed to fill your bucket with more people to then be able to do the next steps in the process, which is the deal of the week, email and text to the cell phones you have. Okay. That's number one. Occasionally, I would say once or twice a month, doing the 2-step outreach, meaning I just put together a new guide on this community, or I just put together a new guide on this, whatever, or I just updated our list of available builder incentives for new homes in Gwinnett County for the month of September, October, whatever. Would you like me to send you? So once or twice a month, you're sending those to get the hand raisers. And then this one is the most critical part, in my opinion. Every single lead you generate, you're going to identify as best you can, do they have a home to sell? And you're going to append that data in your CRM. And you could use, there's a number of different ways that you can do that. The free and easy one that I talk about and reference a lot is called True People Search. There's also Fast People Search, I think. There's also That's Them. You could also, this is one way that we have set up with one of our partners, a company that I use and I refer to very often, thanks.io. You can get an account. You can sign up for a free account at growwithjosh.com/thanks. They have an email matching function. So we could set it up for you, Hank, or for anyone, that anytime a contact comes in with an email address, it will go and try and match that data to the property address, and it can even be fed back in. Now, I manually do this myself. And here's why. When I go and find their address and I look at the house, that creates a connection in my brain that wouldn't otherwise be there. And there's 2 reasons for that. Number one, if they respond, if they call me later in the afternoon, I want to have that fresh in my mind. Does that happen a lot? No, but it happens enough that when you're like, oh, and you already know, they're like, wow, he's on top of things. The other reason why I want to do that is I'm looking for who else do I have that would want to buy their house? Because then I can have that, I can be using that to my advantage as well. Hey, I already have a buyer for your house. Or we have a client who's very actively looking to buy a home in your neighborhood. Who do you know, or who have you heard talking about selling in the neighborhood? And sometimes they're like, actually us, we were thinking about buying a new construction home and maybe we could match them up. So I actually do that work myself because I just think it's work worth doing. Now, it's not that I don't use automation to help with some of the stuff, but I want to see the property. I want to touch and feel that. So I personally disposition or append data for every lead that is generated using free or paid strategies for myself. I literally, and that's part of my morning routine that I've been sharing on these sessions, is going in and finding the people in my CRM that are still marked as new lead, because if they're new lead, it means I didn't touch them yet. I go and append data where applicable. I adjust them to prospect. I add them to a market report, etc. So that's every lead that you generate. You're trying to identify, do they own a property? And if they do, we're adding that property detail in Bold Trail, and we're adding them to a market report for the city or the zip code of their current property. Now, what if they don't own a property? Depending on how they came in, you could create a market report that matches whatever they were interested in. So the biggest obvious one is the Gwinnett County, right? Now that's a lot of data, but you could set them up on a market report that's for all of Gwinnett County. It's better than nothing. It's an extra fail safe. And then also you want those leads that they come in, they get automatically set up on a search alert for the criteria of the property they opted in for. And that can be done automatically based upon hashtags as well. So I want to show that real quick. So the IDX squeeze page that I created, okay? was Cumberland County new homes under something, something. Here's how you can set it up so that every lead that comes in with that tag, I'm sorry, I got to go to the marketing tab, and then I got to go to search alerts, and I'm going to create an alert, and it's for the hashtag that I just created, Cumberland County. I don't remember what it was, and it's not showing up here. But let's say it was Cumberland County new homes under 450K. Let's say that was the hashtag. I should have done this while I was in doing it, but the search alert title is going to be Cumberland County new homes under 450K. And then the location is Cumberland County. So county : Cumberland, PA.
Right.
The listing options, newly built. The listing types, condos. I want to match. It's just going to match the search that the IDX squeeze was matching. And the price range up to 450. And I'm going to send it once weekly. So now what happens? Every lead that's generated is getting a market report once a month. Every lead that's generated is getting an updated search alert email once a week. That's happening automatically, no matter what you do. Then if you layer on the deal of the week, email and text every week, and you have an extra once or twice a month where you're doing some of the other sort of, hey, I just put together this community info, or I just updated the builder incentive list, etc. You're demonstrating value, you're demonstrating expertise, and you're staying in front of those people. They just keep seeing your name and your information so that when the time is right, they've already decided to work with you. You've demonstrated that your stuff, that you're consistent, that you're persistent, etc. And we're trying to, I don't know, we're trying to lead with value and service. We're trying to make sure they're getting the information they're looking for. We're not like pushing ourselves on them. We're just providing them with information so that when the timing is right, they're ready to make a move. David asked on the squeeze page, what do you set as the default for views? So if I'm using it with this strategy where I'm posting it organically on social, then I'm going to set it to 2. I'm going to set it to 2 views, which is the default. And it even says default. However, let me give you a different use case where I don't do it to 2. Okay. So one of the examples I gave Hank for following up to create conversation opportunities, maybe I put together, I'm going to go IDX squeeze page. I'm going to choose my URL and I'm going to go Cumberland County. Okay. And so I'm going to choose that. And I'm going to choose the same 3 again. I'm going to choose condos. I'm going to choose single family, and I'm going to choose townhouse. And I'm going to say, for this one, I'm going to say newly built and reduced. Okay. And I'm building this list, not necessarily to share on social media. I'm building this list as a way to create conversations with my existing database. Okay. So I don't want people to opt in, and I don't want to make it hard for people that are already in my database to see the listings. So in that case, I would choose never. I don't want them to have to register again to get the thing. Okay. So I generate the list and I go and get this list. And here's how I would use this. It just so happens that it's 73 again, which is very odd. And maybe I missed something, but what I would do is I would go to my email and my text, like the people that have requested new construction in Cumberland County. And I'd say, hey, I just put together a list of 73 recently price reduced new construction homes available right now in Cumberland County. Would you like me to send you the entire list? They say yes. I give them the list. I don't want them to have to register again. Now, to confuse matters further, that also would be a great thing to post and make people register for it. So if you were to do that, number one, make sure you save this link, and I'll just show you exactly how I do this kind of stuff. I have a text pad open and I would say, Cumberland County, price reduced, no registration. That's my link to send the existing database. But now I want to make a post like the one I made just a little bit ago. I'm going to say default to, I'm going to hit generate link. Now I've got a new link that will make them register, and I could use that same sort of copy, right? So I could post on social. I just put together a list of 73, actually, I would say something like right now, there were 73 new construction homes available in Cumberland County that have been recently price reduced. Would you like to check out the complete list? Or here's where you can check out the complete list, the link to the URL, and then parentheses, who knows, we might be able to find you a great deal or something like that. Okay. Again, some of this has been a little bit all over the place, Hank. What I'm wondering is, this has been more like the strategy. Maybe it makes sense for us to do a round 2 and make it a little bit more private for people in our group where we actually do some of the work. And if so, I'm happy to do that. I love doing that kind of stuff. I would be happy to document it. But before I kind of pivot, holy smokes, we've been going an hour already. Which, by the way, if you're watching the live stream on Instagram, Instagram cuts it off at an hour. So you can come see the stream on YouTube or Facebook if that happens to you, if you're watching on Instagram. I want to connect the dots on a couple more things before we explore what the next best steps would be. And then, of course, answer any questions that you have. I mentioned, or I demonstrated, posting on Nextdoor and Facebook. I would also 100% be posting every single time you post on those. Go to your Google business profile and post that there as well. Here's what that would look like. I'm going to post an update. I'm going to say posts, add post. I'm going to grab the image, which is just that screenshot that I grabbed of the grid, which, by the way, it could be the grid. You could do the grid. You could do the map view. You could do the whole thing, the map and the grid view. I've done it where I've made little short scrolling videos where I'm just literally scrolling through the listings on my phone. It could be just one. You could also do the grid like this, where I zoom out. On my Mac, it's just Command Subtract, where I zoom out. And now I've got a bigger grid. So I'm able to show more properties, right? So there's lots of different ways that you can create the media to go with this. But back to this, I've got the grid, the button. I'm gonna go learn more, and I gotta go and find that link. So I'm gonna go to my Nextdoor post. I'm gonna go view profile. Here, this is the link that we used. So I'm gonna post that link there, and then in the description, we can't reference a link or anything in the description. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna delete the link, and we're gonna change the language slightly. Check out all available brand new homes under 450K right now. When you tap learn more below, there are 73 available as of this morning. And there's one huge thing that I forgot to do with these posts, which you should absolutely do because it costs nothing and could get you more traction, is to put hashtags. I totally forgot. Hashtags like Cumberland County, PA. Hashtags like Mechanicsburg is one of the cities in Cumberland County that there are a lot of listings. Carlisle is one of the cities where there's a lot of listings. I'm going to say buyer's agent. I'm going to say real estate agent. I'm going to say new homes. I'm going to say new construction, and I'm going to say realtor. I don't know. You could also ask ChatGPT, hey, what would be good hashtags to include with this post? You could put the post in there and ask. Point is, include at least 3. I would say at least 3 and no more than 10. At least 3, no more than 10, and post that here. And is there anywhere else that I post these? I wouldn't do this every single day. I would do this once a week, is post them to Marketplace. So pick one of your and it could be your deal of the week. You pick your deal of the week and you post it to Marketplace. And then you upload it there, and then you share it into appropriate groups through Marketplace as well. That's another way to get more. And I've got a whole tutorial and best practice on that. Now, I'm going to muddy the waters a little bit because I can't help myself, and I want people to get the most from their time and efforts. I have personally found that when sharing a specific property, so specific listing, the best tool to capture as many leads as possible is listings to leads. It works way better than the landing pages or the IDX squeeze pages that you can create for free with Bold Trail. I'm not suggesting you shouldn't use those, and there's a cost to using the listings to leads. But I can tell you with certain, when I share on whether I create a page post and I share that in the groups, or I create a marketplace listing and I share that into groups, and I use a listings to leads landing page, I generate exponentially more leads than if I use some of those other tools.
Let's see. Okay.
And then and this is where I think we need to do an actual workshop for this. If you're driving all of this traffic, there are some other things you want to do to optimize where you're sending people so you can be building audiences that you can retarget or remarket to, etc. So what does that mean? That means like installing the Meta Pixel so that you can then put ads on Instagram and Facebook back in front of those people. You can put the Google tag, which is just Google's version of that. You could install the iList website lead capture tool so that you're capturing even more of the traffic that you're sending. So there's some advanced strategies here. All of this costs more money. I wanted to start with the free, like it's just costs time, but then eventually you want to work your way up, you or others that want to implement some of these strategies, you want to work your way up to some of the paid strategies that will help you get more from your efforts, more from your effort. I personally, in my business right now, I am laser focused on my time and energy personally is spent mostly going after very motivated sellers. However, what I just outlined with Hank, I can guarantee if every one of you did what I just described for 90 days, your pipeline would be so full of activity that you would be having bigger problems to figure out. You'd literally, and just sincerely, like I'm at a point, again, different client avatar, but I'm at a point where like I have to do something for my transaction management because I'm waking up even earlier than I normally do because I have to input transactions and listings into SkySlope because I'm so busy during the day generating more client opportunities and servicing those client opportunities. So good problems to have, but there's no reason why you can't run with this. Notice I didn't even mention in here that you have to create video content. I think video content is great. And I think you should, could, whatever, but you don't need that to get going. And I say that because I know that, and I don't know that this is you, Hank, but so many people struggle with getting on camera and doing that kind of stuff. This is a way that you don't have to do any of that if you don't want to. You can just literally follow these outlined strategies and you're good to go. You're rolling.
Wow, that's awesome. I have a quick question.
Yeah, as many as you want.
When you create the squeeze page, landing page, is there a way to put the Google Pixel on that? Or
Yes. Okay. So the way you do that in Bold Trail, the nice thing is it's universal, meaning you put it one place and it works on every page on your website. If you go to, let me think here. If you go to Web and IDX on the left-hand side, Web and IDX, and then under website settings, which is what the default opens up, you can place pixels. Why is this not scrolling down? Or it's just weird. I don't know why it's acting like this. In this middle box here, I don't know why it's like this. What you're looking for, and you might even do Command F to find it. What you're looking for is the custom header code. So if you go Command F, custom header code, any code you put there is then site-wide. So that's where you could put your meta pixel. That's where you could put your Google tag. If you're using the website capture function that you can get with iList, that's where you put that code. You also put conversion tracking code in there, and that is then on all of your sites. So you don't have to install it on individual pages, landing pages, or squeeze pages or anything. It's universally installed across all of that once you get that there.
Okay, great. Thank
Yeah, you bet. Any other questions, hey, about any of that?
No, it sounds, it's tremendous. A lot more than I thought, especially with between the squeeze page and landing page. You're right. It is backwards the way I was thinking.
Yeah, it doesn't, but whatever. You have both of them. You have both of them for free, quote unquote, with Bold Trail. So you can play with those and use those and see what works for you. And what I would say is that the more compelling and congruent what you're offering is, the more people will opt in, right? So like some people are like, what's the best landing page, like structure? What should it look like? And what it comes down to is if your headline is compelling and people will want what you're offering, whether it's the IDX squeeze page or the landing page. So if it's interesting and congruent and you create curiosity around what it is that you're offering, people are more likely to opt in for it because they feel like they're getting something that they can't get elsewhere. So and again, if you're like, I'm not all that creative either. I'm probably more creative now than I was 20 years ago, only because I've been doing this stuff for a very long time. But I still am using ChatGPT all the time to say like, how can I make this more clear or more concise or more compelling or whatever? And just like even the free versions of all these AI tools will give you lots of great ideas. So you just need to come up with a core concept and then add, hey, what can I do to make this more compelling? What can I do to create more curiosity on the consumer who's reading this, right? What can I do? And you could even say like, can you help me write a headline that will get more people to opt in for this thing I'm offering? Be very specific with what you want from the tool. And the better your prompt or input, the better the output. Garbage in, garbage out it's as relevant with AI as it is with anything.
Okay, great.
So here's what I'm going to do, Hank. I'm going to work to create this into almost like a guide or a full action plan. Here's what to do daily. Here's what to do weekly. Here's what to do monthly. Here's what you're going to do with every lead that comes in. So I think that'll help crystallize it for you, but also then a resource that I can share with anyone else who's interested, which by the way, if that is something that you would be of interest or would be of interest to you, just please shoot me a DM or drop a comment below. It'll take me a few days to put it together, or at least a day, at least the base version of it. And then I would be more than happy to do a round 2 of this where it's more like a workshop where we're actually implementing and doing the work. And what I would say is that I know with certainty that this niche and this path for you is absolutely profitable. It's just a matter of doing it consistently enough to build the pipeline big enough so that you can't possibly not be doing transactions, number one. And number two, the consistent work of it will also help you identify you'll learn market insights that your competitors won't. In other words, you'll see a pattern. People seem to really be liking this community or really be wanting not even just this school district, but like this elementary school or whatever, right? You're going to find market intel that you can use to then create even more and better relevant information with those folks. And I love the new construction list because a very high percentage of people that you're going to generate as leads in your pipeline have a home as well. So that multiple transaction side opportunity is real. And as we saw in your market, there's inventory, right? So there are homes available for people to make a move on. Love it. Any other questions before I let you get to work on implementing?
Nothing right now. I'm sure as I go through it, I'll ping you. And will I get a copy of this recording?
Absolutely. Yep.